Hey, what's up? I'm Doob Solo for Doomed and Stoned, and I'm here today with Stone Disciple. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hey, this is Jared. I play guitar and sing in Stone Disciple.
And I'm AJ, and I play the drums and do the backup vocals.
Welcome, guys. I'm glad to have you here. A lot of people are stuck on the idea of classifying or labeling a band according to their sound, and so many different types of sound and inspiration have found their place in this stoner doom stoner metal, rock, whatever you want to call it. Um, First of all, I guess, like, how important is it to you guys to define yourselves in that way? And if you've tried, or you have like a little tagline to describe what you're making, what would that be?
Hmm. You should go first, AJ.
Ooh. Um,
No wrong answers, by the way.
I feel like we we touch lots of different genres and styles, and like I play in another stoner doom band, and we're very like Sabbath worship, like stoner doom. There's like no other way around it. When I think about Stone Disciple, like it's hard for me to classify us as just stoner doom because like I said, there's just we touch so many different other styles and subgenres that like we get thrashy at times, and then sometimes we get pretty bluesy, and like I just don't think, like, primarily, yeah, we're like a doom. Jared coined the phrase doom rock for us like this past year, and I mean that's pretty close, but you know again, it's hard to put us in one box, I feel like.
Yeah, probably Stoner Doom just for the sake of booking shows a lot of times, and Doom Rock now. I think that's yeah, that was a cool. I think it's a good name for a sound. But even like the Wanderer, some people were telling me like kind of has a shoegazy type feel, just a heavy, slow kind of drummy
Yeah.
sound.
And a
But
little bit spacey too.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Yeah, exactly what AJ said. We do touch a lot of genres, but we do most of our songs, or we always incorporate some really slow, or in our live shows, we'll play some songs maybe even slower than we actually had recorded them,
Oh,
just to make it that much more doomy and stonery. But
yeah.
we do play some fast at times. But yeah, we kind of. I feel we've held our own with we've played with death metal bands, black metal bands,
Yeah.
in some different bands, yes, some interesting genres of bands, but we can usually float amongst different genres of the heavier side pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
And we are loud too, so we're usually known for being very loud, and I think we're going to bring that loudness back even more so um, this year, 2025.
Excellent.
Way out in the western
if you wouldn't mind, can you give us a little bit of a background of how you got started?
Sure. So Stone Disciple, I guess officially we started once we found AJ, which is like maybe the end of the summer of 2016. And we all met via Craigslist. And I can't remember if I found you, AJ, or if Patrick found you. I cannot remember that, but
I think it was you, Jared.
it was me. Okay. And it was probably along the lines of stoner metal, stoner doom, weed,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And so we just synced up, uh, jammed out in my basement at the time, and yeah, just rocked out. Been rocking out since then. And
What did you grow up listening to, I guess, and like what have you latched onto as far as what seems to be appearing in your sound now? How about you, AJ?
Yeah. I grew up listening to like Green Day and Blink-182, some Metallica, um, Led Zeppelin, that kind of stuff. And then as far as influences go, I think one of the biggest ones is probably Sabbath and definitely The Sword, like The Sword a lot. And then, of course, like Sleep and Electric Wizard. Um, but these days, like I've been listening to a lot more Yes and Rush and like just like early progressive stuff. Um, but there's this newer band too called Halas that I'm really into. They're kind of a more modern progressive, but not like the Mars Volta type progressive rock. Like they draw a lot of sound from like Rush and Yes and some Thin Lizzy too. Um, and then yeah, that's pretty much where I've been at these days.
How about you, Jared? Same question.
see, I grew up listening to like country, old country and stuff. So my parents listened a lot too. And then it was I had a weird childhood. My parents are super religious, so I didn't get to listen to too much until I got to like high school. That wasn't like country or oldies or something, but I did like that music. But once I got to high school, punk rock and metal, alternative, all that heavy stuff. Bad Religion, a lot of punk early on. Um, the Clash, the Misfits, big time. I played in a couple horror punk rock bands. So Misfits are always one of my early ones and one of my favorites. And I have two Misfits tattoos. Um, just one of the classics. I always listen to death metal too. I'm a big death metal head. And I also still do listen to country and old country and oldies and stuff like that. So trying to weave some of that stuff into Stone Disciple, made a little bit of that cowboy, kind of a little bit of open twang on some of the, like the Wanderer and some of the songs on that. And then that's just like AJ said, the Sword. That's a big one of our influences, I think. And then like Sleep and Thin Lizzy maybe as well. Black Sabbath really emphasized the open, kind of open E or open D, whatever you tune to, just the ball um, that we kind of employ a lot in Stone Disciple.
Talk about, if you will, sort of what you're most proud of, I guess, of how you've evolved or changed from your first recording to your most recent.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably the first one just to now to maybe like the Wanderer. Um, Wanderer is probably my favorite that we've done so far. But in terms of like from Hollow Mountain, just I don't know, super relaxed. I didn't feel too rushed on the Wanderer. On Groove Odyssey is we're a four piece, and so we all had to nail our parts pretty like perfectly in time with each other because we kind of did that one live, I think, if I remember correctly, in someone's basement. Um,
Right.
Pretty much mostly live. But now this one that we did, the Wanderer at Green Door, um, that was super chill, super relaxed. And Felipe Patino, who recorded and mixed and mastered, he was super awesome to work with and super laid back. And I wasn't sweating or anything or like nervous like sometimes I get. Um, but yeah, I don't know. What's your favorite AJ?
Definitely The Wanderer. I think over each like EP and single, every time we recorded, everything just kind of got better and better. That's definitely true with The Wanderer. Like, Jared's songwriting on top of the just the production value that Felipe added. Um, I would agree. Yeah, Wanderer is also probably my favorite.
I love to read long books, but the last time I got really attached to an epic book series, the dude still hasn't released it, George R. R. Martin. I've been waiting
Oh,
years.
okay.
So I'm very reluctant to start any epic book series unless it's been completed. And I finally picked up The Gunslinger. So it was really timely because I listened to your guys' album right when I started reading it. I was like, oh my God, it's The Wanderer is like, okay, do you have you guys read that book or is this a coincidence?
It was a coincidence in writing it, but I also did. Someone told me about the Gunslinger in one of the other bands I'm in, so I bought the book. I just have to read it now.
Yeah, you really ought to. Like I enjoyed it a lot. But at the same time, like this is, hours and hours of a commitment to get through this epic tale. So maybe in 2025 we can challenge each other to read to
Yes,
read
I'll
the
try and read at least the first one.
yeah, yeah.
Travels across the sands, outlaw of cosmic lands, wanted by enemies, cast out amongst the galaxy. He seems more machine than man, the fastest gun in all the land. And if you dare to cross his path, his bloodshot gaze might be your last. Outlaw and wanderer, he'll cut you down like thunder. Roaming the land, a hunter, with gun in hand he wanders. He travels across the land, nothing but gun in hand, wanted by enemies, cast out amongst the galaxy.
So this last year you also put out your Stoner Thrash EP, which sort of took this I wouldn't say it's such a huge turn because The Wanderer brings together so many different, I guess, flavors, if you will, from a vast array of genres, which of course probably speaks to your guys's taste in music and what you were listening to as you were growing up. But this was, kind of a different sound, and I was surprised by it. It was a little bit unexpected for me. What was it that brought about the production of this EP? Like, have you been thinking about it for a while? Was it just kind of spontaneous? How did that
Uh,
come about?
I know when we first wrote those songs, it was mostly AJ and I. Sometimes it would just be us practicing, so we'd be rocking out a lot of shit by ourselves. Um, but the stoner thrash that came kind of lucked out with AJ doing his like externship with that Conway sound. Um, he was able to record those two songs. He asked like I think it was like maybe a couple weeks, 3 weeks out if we wanted to record. And yeah, it was just me and him did it. It was pretty fun. I know AJ could speak to it as well. But there's other people there as well watching and recording and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it was very much for learning purposes. Because yeah, I did this externship at a recording studio in Denver, and like once a week, all the students get together. We try to plan like learning activities and stuff. So every once in a while we have a band come in, and we ended up doing 2 songs. We tracked 2 songs in a day, and even for us that was a bit much. Like plus I was the one running the session, so I was like on the computer like recording everything. Um, and yeah, it was just one of those things like we would play those songs just for fun. We had them in our back pocket and we never did anything with them. Like those are some of the first songs we played together. And so I figured it was just like it was good for myself and the other students at the studio to learn, and then we get a free 2-song EP out of it.
Awesome. Yeah, so you guys also did a music video this year for your track Laid to Waste, and it was your first time making one of those. Did either of you have any nerves about that process, or were you excited about it? What was that like?
It was pretty chill, since fortunately it was just AJ and I just have like a little like gimbal, Insta Flow iPhone gimbal. So just use my phone, and I recorded AJ playing drums to the song with fortunately our practice spot had a blue wall behind him or for a green screen.
Yeah.
So I just recorded him playing that song the whole time, and used the gimbal and some smart zoom stuff to make it zoom in and out real fast, make it cinematic. And then I had put up a real green screen for myself, and AJ filmed me playing the song. I just had one like ear pod in, so I could sync it up with the music for editing later. But just did those 2 shots, and then I was going to just use those 2 shots, but later on, like a week later in my house, I just put up the green screen and got a few more shots, and then proceeded like for the next 12 hours to edit that, and just used Apple iMovie and just going back and forth, cutting and moving stuff around and make sure everything's lined up. And then I think I emailed it to AJ at like 3 or 4 in the morning when I was done. But um,
How did you get the background graphics?
let's see, why did I get some of those? I had like a free like with Adobe. I had like a monthly like plan with them, but they gave you like a few free downloads of like some high quality stock, like just 20-second cool background imagery. And then I found some, did like a 1 month trial, and got some cool like high quality stock footage of like some medieval battles and stuff. Just to weave that in there. Um, and yeah, AJ's mastered version, his mastered version of Laid to Waste. Popped that in there, and um, turned out pretty good. I thought it did anyways. I've made videos before, way back in the day, just more like dumb stuff. But this is my first music video I've ever made, and first one I've ever been in, and it was fun. Always something I wanted to do.
It turned out pretty rad, and to be honest, I would not have known that you guys did that as a DIY project. I thought that you had a cameraman and it turned out great. So That would be great to see you guys continue doing that as well. I have fun editing too. I know it's hard to not sit down for 12 hours. I have less than that much
Mhm.
time. I almost don't even want to sit down and start it, but
And that was AJ's first time ever even holding that gimbal and using it. So,
Yeah, I think it was weird.
so just like learning to play drums, it's a different instrument for you guys to take advantage of.
yeah. But
Cool.
yeah, I definitely think yeah, I'm down to make more music videos.
Let's get into maybe your gear. You can get as technical as you want, even though I might not understand it.
Sweet.
Our viewers might.
You go first, AJ.
All right. So I'm rocking a 4-piece Ludwig Epic kit. I don't think they make it anymore, but it's like a maple birch hybrid, I believe. 24-inch kick drum, 16-inch floor tom, 13-inch rack tom, a 14 by 6.5-inch Ludwig Supraphonic snare, and Heisty 2002 cymbals. Evans heads. Um, oh, I've got the DW 9000 single kick pedal. Um, and every once in a while, an 18-inch Wuhan, China cymbal. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Is your live kit and your studio kit the same, or do you pare down when you want to hit the road?
I just have the one kit because I'm a broke ass bitch. But it depends. Like when we worked with Felipe, and I've worked with Felipe in another band too. Um, he's got gear and he's got really nice drum kits that I'll just use his stuff. I'll bring my cymbals in. Um, we try out 3, 4 snares and see which one we like best. Um, but on all the other records, I used this Ludwig Epic kit that I have. Um, so yeah, it just depends, but I use that kit for anything. The Pisces cymbals give me a lot of volume, but they're very versatile too. Like I just love the tones that I get from those cymbals. The Ludwig Epic kit, it's just loud. Like and it's a good balance of tone and volume. So I think it just works really well for live applications. I don't have to worry about anything getting lost. Because for me, I just want every piece to be heard. Like I want my cymbals to be loud and in your face, and I want the drums to like punch you in the chest and cut through the whole mix, like wherever we're playing. Um, recently we played at like Surfside 7 and the guy asked if I wanted to mic my snare. Surfside 7's not huge. I was like, no, I don't think like this, we're going to be fine. Like that's an aluminum snare. So like it's going to cut. So, um,
Nice.
so yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Big sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are sick drums.
Jared, I see a Laney and a Marshall behind you, and you got a Nor. What you got there? What's
Yeah.
that? What's all that?
So behind me on my right, yeah, I got my old school rig, my Laney and my Marshall 4x12 JCM 800 lead 1960. Yeah, I've had that for a long time now, 18 years. And then the head I've had probably for 5 years, but that was my old rig. That's my beat up rig. And then I just got my orange like dual dark 100 and in white and the matching orange 4x12 cab and in the white as well. So that's my new baby. It's just I got cases for all of it, a living case and big ass casters on it now, so it rolls, but it's just super heavy, like in sound and in weight. Um, so
Sweet.
once you get it out of the car, it's not too bad. Um, but yeah, it's loud. We haven't this past year. I guess we haven't been playing as loud as we normally have. Sometimes we get turned down quite a bit, but I say 2025, we're gonna crank that shit. And I'm gonna add a bass. I have a little combo bass now, but it's not very loud. So I'm thinking to add like a little orange 1x15 bass to supplement. Run that through or split this in or just run it out my head. Just line out and add that little bit of low end since we are just a two piece.
Yeah. What about pedals?
Yeah, I have lots of pedals.
What are your favorite couple of pedals or your standbys?
Yeah, my go-to board. I don't have actually don't run with like too many pedals. I just own a lot. Probably too many.
Mhm.
I should, but my go-to. I just got my tuner, TC Electronics tuner, and then I go through my wall, which I upgraded maybe a year ago, which is to the more or which one is it? The Wallach. Lot better wall I think than when I was using the Dunlop Crybaby. It's you don't have to click anything to turn it on. It's just step on it and it's on. But that's been one of my favorites. And then I have added the that Chronic Titan distortion after that, and that works well with the orange here. I have a couple new songs where I use that for a couple parts and songs because it adds a nice like super sustaining fuzz over the already distorted orange tone. But and then always use my like more re-echo pedal for delay and a phase 90 from MXR and have a little Hall of Fame mini reverb from TC Electronics. That's my go-to pretty much all the time for Stone Disciple. Um, gets a like perfect, I think just enough effects I have to manage because if I have too many, then you kind of might lose track of what's what and just too many on the board, then step on one accidentally. But good enough to make it sound spacey and heavy and add some more volume and depth since it's just me playing
Yeah.
guitar up there with AJ. But AJ's drums are so loud and the way we kind of been writing now, he kind of drums supplement the guitar almost like he's riffing along with it. So it works well. I've been trying to swap it out, or I've been going between guitars, but I always come back to this one. Played this on the Wanderer. I played it on Lost Com, and I can't remember if I played it on Hollow Mountain. Might do it on
I think
Sonic
I played
Chasm.
your
And
Les Paul on Hollow Mountain.
oh, okay, sweet. And if I did do Stoner Thrash with this one, but yeah, my good old 2017 Gibson SG Standard. It's not stock anymore. I gutted it and just put a new wiring, all the switch and everything, pickup selector, and put some Seymour Duncan invaders in it, um, and just super high output. As a, I don't really use a distortion pedal ever, except when I like click on the Chronic Titan to add a lot more fuzz. So these just got super high gain pickups, so I can just go straight through my. Lately, it's been the orange dual dark. But that's
It takes one less thing out of the equation when you're using all those pedals.
it does.
Nice. What about writing new material? Are you working on anything for 2025? Any new stuff?
We already started jamming that stuff. What have we? I think we jammed like 3 songs so far that are new.
Something like that.
Four, and then I have like 8 new songs written. Um, so I'm gonna try and record maybe some scratch tracks for AJ that he can practice along to, or we do try and send each other, or I try and send the guitar ideas anyways out, so we can get some stuff spinning and we can get going at practice and just try and start jamming something right away new. But yeah, we'll see. AJ is recording now. I did like Green Door. Green Door is so fun. So maybe we'll split a few EPs between a few studios and make it interesting. So that song Alone from The Wanderer, um, like way back in the day, about 7 years ago, we recorded that as an acoustic song. And so I finally got a hold of where we recorded that module overload. Jamie, you remember AJ remembers Jamie, recorded Lost Calm and Sonic Chasm there. But we also Patrick and I, the other guitar player, recorded just that Alone song and one other song that I can't seem to find, but we're going to drop that um, Alone acoustic version pretty soon. I re-recorded vocals and AJ just recorded some backups, so I just downloaded those. So we're gonna throw those in and drop the acoustic version. It's like twice as long. It's got a little spacey acoustic, kind of hippie-ish sounding outro, but it sounds pretty cool.
Oh yeah. So you'll be putting that out through Bandcamp?
Bandcamp and also on Spotify, all the streaming platforms, but definitely usually posted on Bandcamp first since that's like usually instant.
So we can buy that track from Bandcamp.
You will be able to buy that track, yes, Alone Acoustic. It's pretty groovy.
For me as a budding artist, I don't always like to track my metrics. I think that sometimes numbers can take the fun out of what I'm trying to do. But I'm curious for you guys for this year. Have you taken advantage of any of the Spotify Wrapped numbers or try to add up any of the numbers to see what your what the response has been to your recordings this year?
Oh yeah, we did. I got our wrapped. I just did one quick post on Instagram, but it was more this year, just in the past from like since we released the first single. I think it was Alone in July. Just since then through now, it's like the most we've had like since 2000, whatever we post 2017 when I think Hollow Mountain came out till now, like all that combined, it was just like um, we had that's the most streams we've had, most like countries that we've had people, a lot of people in Finland, look like in Germany, um, rocking out. And then kind of cool, you can see usually every time I open up the Spotify art for artists to check out the numbers, usually there's like a half a dozen or a dozen people listening
Oh,
when I
at
do
that
that
moment?
at that moment. Yeah.
That's
So that's pretty
awesome.
cool. So it's more
Yeah.
than um, we've ever had. So we're pretty stoked.
And you have representation from a PR firm right now, yes?
Oh yeah, we've just been working with Desert Bloom. They've been pretty cool. Collaborating with them on posts, and we did. I have got some seen some cool movement on that, and seen that worked out pretty well for a lot of stuff. Getting our songs on some college radios and some radios over in the UK as well as, and we also got on the radio here in Denver on like the NPR of Denver, which is pretty sweet too.
What's your plan for any live gigs coming up? Do you have anything booked? Are you looking to get booked? What's up?
I don't know, I think we'll probably look at it'd be cool to do like a Southwest tour or something, like cruise down maybe Albuquerque to Vegas or Albuquerque, Phoenix area, Vegas, Salt Lake, back down. I think it'd be pretty chill.
Sounds good. Yep. I know lots of bands who've made that circuit. It's cool. It's
Oh,
cool.
sweet.
So if we know anybody or if anybody's watching who's interested in booking Stone Disciple for the spring, hit them up. It's been great being here, getting to know you guys today. Thanks again for spending this time with me. And is there anything more you want to say to current fans, potential new listeners, any shout outs to your buddies?
Yeah. Thanks for having us. It's always been one of my things I want to do is blog or do an interview with Doomed and Stone. So thanks for that. But yeah, anyone that's listening, if they want to check out The Wanderer, check out Stoner Thrash. We have a lone acoustic coming out soon, and we do have a few other EPs from 5, 6, 7 years back that you can listen to as well. And we are on Bandcamp. You can buy most of our albums on CD and The Wanderer on cassette and t-shirts and all that good jazz.
Cool. What's the best way to keep in touch or follow along for news from the Stone Disciple?
Um, Go ahead and you can follow us on Bandcamp. Um, we're also on YouTube and Spotify. Definitely Stone Disciple at outlook.com. And also Instagram. You can
Cool.
also email us and contact us through that as well. But definitely Bandcamp and I think Instagram is probably the ones that we get shouted at on most, but you can definitely email us directly as well.
Jared, AJ, thanks again. Folks, check out Stone Disciple in all the places. Check out the links below this video. And I really look forward to seeing you guys on that Southwest tour. We'll talk again soon.
Yeah. Thanks. See you.
Cheers.